There's a new local player in the premium bottled water market, which has traditionally been dominated by international brands. And the key ingredient comes from an unlikely source. Not a river, spring or aquifer, but a vegetable. It's another novel effort to add value to ugly vegetables, which, while perfectly edible, are not saleable. Kerry State reports on how what used to be discarded as waste water is now gracing the tables of some top Australian restaurants.
In the eye-catching centrepiece at acclaimed Sydney restaurant Gastro Park, a local sparkling sits alongside fine French champagne. But it's not wine, it's a unique kind of water. And the head chef says it's as good as the imported premium bottled brands he used to favour and sustainable.
The story behind this water of someone tapping into a unutilised resource, I think is something that many companies should look at.
That story starts here. A carrot farm in regional Victoria, owned by one of the country's biggest producers, Rocky Lamartina and Sons. The family business produces 65,000 tonnes every year off its 2 properties. While the majority make it to the end of the packing line at the company's Weeman facility, a constant stream of misfits are removed and sent to its juicing plant near Mildura.
That was the reason why we went into the juice market in the first place, because we had this product that we didn't know what to do with, and for value adding, the idea was to juice it.
15% of what the company harvests is crushed. A small amount of the split, broken or flawed veggies are turned into fresh carrot juice for domestic consumers. But the majority are used to make concentrate, mainly for the export market.
The Japanese market is probably one of the biggest. They use about 40,000 metric tonnes of concentrate per year now, so it's quite a large market.
Concentrate is basically juice that has been condensed to make storage and shipping easier and cheaper. And the one bulky thing that's taken out to create this more compact liquid is water. Around 500 to 600 litres for every tonne of carrots. At the company's old juicing plant, it used to end up in the sewerage system.
We used to keep the water for a short time if we needed it to, mainly to wash down the floor and stuff like that, and then after that we used to just dispose of it.
When the company built a new crushing facility just out of town next to a farm, the concentrate byproducts were put to better use. The pulp is now fed to livestock, and some of the water is treated and used for irrigation. Then along came inventor Bruce Camboris with his ambitious plan to turn this drop into a drink.
Having this vast amount of liquid removed from the carrot juice itself, I thought that if we can only utilise this, then we can produce a really sustainable water source.
It made sense because there's nothing wrong with the water. If you can eat a carrot as it is, or any fruit or vegetable that's got water in it, especially in Australia, it's so clean, then there shouldn't be any reason why they can't drink the water.
That water, which is collected during the evaporation process, first needs a bit of work.
It does have strong aromas from the source fruit. It has sugars, tannins. It's just a shadow of the fruit. And it's not very palatable, otherwise it would have been used in the past. So the option there is to clean it up.
Dr. Camboris, who previously worked as a chemist in the wine industry, uses 3 types of filtration to remove the unwanted nutrients, juice remnants, and any pests or bacteria. He says while the purifying techniques are common in the bottled water industry, his idea is not, which is why he's patented it.
The process is fairly straightforward. It's just that no one has really considered in producing drinking water from fruit and vegetables, commercially at least.
Kerry, that's actually carrot water you've got.
So this is the finished product before bottling, is it?
Correct.
And can you taste the carrot? Because that's what people would probably want to know.
Like I said, if you're an expert taster, you could possibly taste the source fruit, but generally you can't. What do you think?
Again, I know this is carrot water now, so I'm probably reading into it a bit too much. I think there is a slight taste, but yeah, I don't know if I'd have picked it had I not known that. I never thought I'd be doing a water tasting.
There you go.
And it's not just carrot water that is on the tasting menu.
Kerry, this is the grape water.
Okay. Let's see. In fact, he says any fresh produce that's turned into concentrate, from sugarcane to olives, is a potential source of drinking water too.
Carrots or apples or pears or other types of fruit and vegetables to eat. If we can now also extract water for drinking purposes, we're going to relieve the stress on the environment. Globally, I would seriously estimate that there would be hundreds and hundreds of billions of litres of water. In Australia, I'm estimating there will be from 20 to 25 billion litres of botanical water.
For now, though, the orders are a little more modest. This year, Bruce Camboris is hoping to sell up to 50,000 cartons of his still and sparkling creations. But with a new bottling line being set up just down the corridor from Lamatina's crushing plant, he aims to capture 5% of the market within 2 years.
It was heaven sent that I was able to associate with an established processor in order to tap onto their facilities and produce at my own pace. It's like a dream come true. It really is, you know, from conception to reality is a big step, but it's also an amazing and exciting step and gives you a lot of energy to carry on.
Turning this clever concept into a commercial success is the next step. And this is where the Australian Institute of Food Science and Technology has seen the majority of innovative ideas trip up.
It's a challenging landscape, and it's not necessarily due to the fact that companies haven't done their research properly. A lot of the things that can impact on whether a business is successful around innovation is cost to scale up from a prototype, timing just might not be right, whether that be market climate more broadly, but also consumer uptake at the end of the day determines a product's success.
Bruce Camboris and other minor shareholders in the company, like the Lamatina family, admit so far the novel approach to value adding isn't adding enough value to these vegetables. So is it a more costly process than what you used to do with the water?
Look, the answer is it is, because we're cleaning it a lot more than what we would before. But before, even once it was clean, we actually had to pay to get rid of it. So now what's happening is that we're getting a return. The actual money advantage is not nowhere near where it needs to be going forwards, but as now the volume is starting to pick up, and then we can start to see the economies of scale starting to come into it. So it's small at the moment, but we can see the potential.
To boost its profits and profile, this small player has initially gone after the top end of the market, competing with well-known international brands like Evian, San Pellegrino and Perrier, where the packaging is as much of a selling point as what's inside.
For me, I saw the bottle, I sold on that, I tasted the gear, I found out about the order and I sold.
Grant King is well known for his experimental food, so serving a novel kind of water is a good fit here. And after testing out AquaBotanical on his staff and diners last year, he's now signed on as the brand's ambassador.
Everything about this is very elegant water. It's a very pure water. It's got a very even balance of fizz. It's not overly salty. So for me, it works really well with my food, which is quite delicate and very, very highly balanced.
The thinking behind the product and its market potential have also impressed the Australian Institute of Food Science and Technology. AquaBotanical recently won its Innovation Award.
So we see a lot of work around water reuse in relation to sewage, salt, so a lot of the salinity plants, and water reuse or recycling in that respect. What was different about AquaBotanicals was that it was a waste product or a byproduct of another food-based application.
And with global recognition too for his water, Bruce Camboris is convinced that once unwanted byproduct is now well on its way to becoming a desirable drink.
For the first time ever, Australia has actually become a finalist in a global bottled water where the competition is very fierce. And it's probably the first time Australia's been mentioned as a water producer. So look out, world, we're coming.